I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And today we're going to be talking about making a request for changes. Okay, so when you're in a relationship with somebody, you're often going to be frustrated about certain things. Mm-hmm. And they're going to be frustrated with you.
Yep.
And, you know, it always feels like a personal attack when somebody says...
No matter what happens,
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
When somebody asks you to change or complains about the way you do something. And we take it very personal.
Very.
We always kind of want to defend ourselves.
Yep.
And it's not easy to do, but it's important to be able to do it because you have to be able to navigate a relationship by understanding that your partner is going to have different needs than you have or wants, and you the same for them. And asking them to do different things can often lead to becoming defensive in a big fight.
Absolutely.
So Margaret's got some good research on this today.
Now, we began talking about Imago therapy relatively recently, so I just want to review slightly and then go into the next topic.
All right, Imago, what is that?
Okay, Imago. Your Imago is the person you ultimately choose as a partner who combines your parents' good parts and not so good parts. Mm-hmm. Okay? Because according to the Imago theory, we desperately want to reenact our childhood so we can fix it. Okay? And this is the person we have picked to help us do it. That's
okay.
Your Imago. All right? And I just remind you that Harville Hendricks and his wife, Helen LaKelly Hunt, over the years have written 9 or 10 books, all of which get very good reviews. I have currently read 2 of them, and I will continue because I'm quite fascinated by this.
Mm-hmm. A really good one is Getting the Love That You Want.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm sure that's the title
Yes.
of it. And there's many different activities for if you are in a partnership.
All kinds of activities, and I'm going to share one right now.
Perfect.
Yeah. Imago is the component picture of the person we choose to be our partner. We are unaware that this person will in some way embody the strengths and weaknesses of our parents. The person can help us to reenact and resolve our childhood wounds. All right? The process involves the partners as therapists to each other.
Which is very different than anybody else.
Totally different.
Yeah.
Exactly. So in a session, the partners face each other, mm-hmm. Not both partners facing a therapist, mm-hmm. Which is very different to begin with.
The standoff.
Yeah, the standoff. The couple faces each other in the session, and the therapist assists from the sidelines, coaches kind of, okay? Tracing each other's frustration in the present to childhood experiences promotes healing. Okay, and there are a couple of good examples of that in here. And I know that sounds outrageous at first glance, but hang in there. The basic Imago dialogue involves listening, validating, and empathizing. For example, if Craig were complaining that I drop paper clips on his floor...
Which he does.
Yes, every time I come here, then I would have to listen to Craig. In fact, why don't you tell me about it?
Margaret, every time I see you, there's a pile of paper clips and there's a trail of them all around the house.
Craig, if I understand that correctly, you're very upset about my leaving paper clips all around the house.
Moderately upset. I wouldn't say very.
Okay. Is there any more about that?
Well, Margaret, I don't care to discuss that at this point.
I see. Okay. Maybe you could tell me to get some kind of a magnet and pick them up, right? All right. So
and where to put them?
Yeah. So Craig very nicely summed up what I was saying to him. Craig, I'm now going to validate Craig. I can understand why you might be upset with the paper clips. And I didn't know you realized that I was doing it deliberately and putting them in really difficult places to vacuum so you'd have to live with them forever and not forget about me. Okay? So I can absolutely understand why you're upset about this. Feel better now?
A little bit.
All right.
Is that like when women like deliberately leave their hair scrunchies in a guy's car to let him know
Mark
it's their
their territory?
territory?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
Margaret does it with
And
paper clips.
Dogs do it a different way. Right? So, okay.
Margaret's like, nobody else better be doing research in my house.
So I have validated your complaint, all right? And not only that, I'm going to say, that must be very annoying for you, Craig, and I give you credit for having done all this for almost 3 years now.
Look, there's a paper clip right there, actually.
And you've never complained before, so I thank you very much.
I'm not even kidding, there really is one. Thank you for empathizing with me, Margaret.
You're welcome. I'm not picking up the paper clips, though.
No, she won't.
So, So that's the initial Imago dialogue, okay? If someone has a complaint with you, they say that, and you listen, you validate, and, then you hope to come to some kind of an agreement here, all right? And then you empathize because poor Craig, he's so very upset. Yeah.
I stepped on one the other day.
Oh no.
And now you have gangrene?
I got something.
I think the other important thing about that too is the eye contact.
Yes.
And doing it in session, looking at each other.
Looking at each other.
I think that really helps apply what you learn in
Yeah.
a therapy session
Sure.
into the real world.
All right, so this is the behavior change request. Each partner makes a list of current frustrations they have with their partner. This exercise is to learn more about each other's deepest needs and to give you the opportunity to change your behavior to meet these needs. As you struggle with your resistance to change, your partner will experience emotional healing and will become a more whole and loving individual. So if you can hang in there, no matter how artificial or crazy this sounds, it will help.
How long can the list be?
Well, the longest one I heard of in reading this was 26 items.
Wow, okay.
Yeah,
That's
you'd have to get up early to start.
Yeah.
So he's got an example couple here. Jenny says, I don't like it when you drive too fast. I'm scared. Her global desire is, I would like to feel safe and relaxed when you are driving. Think of these three requests under this global desire. She wants to be happy while she's riding with him.
Mm-hmm.
The request must be positive, specific, measurable, achievable, and relevant to the desire. And it also has to be time limited. Now, if you want to remember how to make one of these, it follows the acronym SMART, S-M-A-R-T. So it's specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time limited. Okay. So here's the request. For the next month, when you are driving, I would like you to obey the speed limit. If the road conditions are bad, I would like you to drive even more slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Also, for the next 2 weeks, now she gets 3 requests here. Also, for the next 2 weeks, before we get in the car, tell me that you will drive within the speed limit and give me a hug. All right? Mm-hmm. Now that's for the next 2 weeks. Okay? I'm sure he's very happy by now, right, with this plan. And number 3, 2 times next week, have a dialogue with me for 15 minutes and ask me how I feel when you drive beyond the speed limit and help me connect my fear to childhood. Okay? Now this sounds, all of those things. It's measurable, it's specific, it's time limited, it's all of those things. It would still be hard to do. Mm-hmm. If you were the partner being requested of.
Yeah.
But if you did it, I don't see how you could go wrong on having this therapy work. Mm-hmm. So the theory is, and I think we've said this before, behind every frustration is a desire and a path back to something in childhood. All right, it may be hard to believe, but it is true. This will be a corrective emotional experience for both of you because you didn't fight about it, you didn't get, at odds about it, you didn't do any of those things. All right. So one of the next steps in Imago therapy after you do the first registering of the complaint is then to ask for a behavior change. Okay? Mm-hmm. And I will continue with this little by little on Imago. I hope you find it interesting.
Now, what they didn't say about Jenny's husband is that he's a New York City cab driver.
That's right.
And he said, forget about it, I want a divorce.
Yeah, and I was thinking immediately, I remember I'm from New England originally, and I was thinking they must live somewhere where there's snow, right?
Yeah.
Because if it snows and it sleets, it can be slippery before it even looks that way. And he's probably saying, yeah, I drove the cab in New York and nothing bad ever happened. Calm down, lady. All right. So behind every frustration, there is a desire.
And what I like about this too is that there's specificity in each of the requests.
Yeah.
I think many times we are afraid to be specific in what we need because we don't want to come off as controlling or needy.
Yep.
But the more specific, the better oftentimes because ambiguous boundaries lead to a lot more hurt if you
That's
accidentally
exactly
cross
right.
a boundary
Yep.
that you don't know is there.
So if you're asking very nicely for something concrete, okay?
Yep.
So that's what I have to say about that, and we will continue with it.
Okay,
Right.
good stuff. So hopefully you found this helpful, and of course if you want to get our help personally, you can do that on my website, askcraig.net. I do email coaching and I do Skype, and of course Coach Margaret is available for Skype coaching.
If you think I can be helpful to you, please sign up.
And now Coach Victoria is available for Skype coaching.
Yes, and I'm looking forward to speaking with you.
So just click on Victoria on the top of the website to schedule a call with her. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And we will talk with you soon. To get my help personally, go to askcraig.net and click on Schedule Coaching and choose the option that works best for you. I do email coaching or Skype. To schedule a coaching with Margaret, click on Margaret on the top of the page and order a Skype with her. For the Knowledge Creative Healing course, click on the link at the top of the page and click Get Started Now.